Welcome back, Brother Neil Frazier, aka Metamorphosis, with another powerful lesson and message today. We just finished chatting a little bit. It's never enough.
Never enough time.
We spoke on some things that are going to segue into the show, but we got to dig deep and look at the signs of what's in front of us so we know what time we're in. And I know you're going to bring it through beautifully. How are you doing today, brother?
I'm great, brother. Every time I enter into your studio, I feel like an angel with wings. Like it's yeah, it's good to be with you, man, on Mondays as always. Greetings to the family. And it's a little warm, like the weather changed here. So that's why you see me.
It's a little warm over here too, and it's always warm. But as you speak, I'm going to probably have to open up one of the studio windows, man, because I left out today and I had just slid into home base. And I'm here. I just took the knapsack off, put some stuff in the fridge, and I'm here. But I'm gonna have to crack that window.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So usually
it's gonna get cool though because I'm on the mountain. But I gotta crack it because it's like all day it's been heating up.
Oh yeah. Any new messages from the clouds?
New downloads. Wow.
Right.
What could I say? Just the fact that you have to keep your armor on symbolically on all levels, mentally, physically, and spiritually, because you just don't know the amount of venom that these spirits will have collectively. And when they get a little chance to come at you, even when they don't even see you, but it's festering up, and they get the chance
even when they don't
see
you. That's something.
Yeah, because, you know, you have entities out here who want to play the game of putting you down, or they feel bad about themselves and they want to always have you near to try to play mind games. And they freak out when they have you for a second and all this venom comes out. But you have a right to deal with whoever you want to deal with in this life.
Absolutely.
You know, and choose, because some folks will try to keep you around just to suck the energy from you, but give you just enough of a smile on their face to keep you around. Nah.
Oh yeah.
See ya.
Hey, you remember that song by I think they were called, this group, Undisputed Truth, Smiling Faces.
Smiling Faces.
Yeah, turn upside down.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm like you, brother. I pick and choose who I communicate with. You can call my phone all day, all night. You can send email. You can do whatever you want, but I choose the energy that I choose. And so today, like me and you were talking, how one of the things that our people, I believe that they're coming around with this now and comprehending that there are two different gods in terms of how you view things. Okay, I know there's only one creator, but I'm going to explain what I mean by that. And I'm talking about gods on the planet and goddess.
Right.
I'm not talking about the supreme beings.
Right.
And the one that people worship who are not like us or from our culture is an anti-Black, bigoted God. And just because somebody says they're a Christian, that does not mean that they see this God that they created the same way that you do. And I think our people are finally coming around and realizing. I've listened to some different ones now saying, yeah, we get it now. Okay. And let's get this straight. Neil Frazier or Lance Scurv did not make the laws of the universe, the laws of polarity.
That's right.
They exist beyond our control before we were here, and they'll be here long after we're gone.
That's right.
And today, I'm so happy because we're celebrating actually my first hero. And we're going to talk a little bit about let me set the table a little bit first.
And while you do that, let me run and open up this window. I can hear you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah. So I was talking to Lance about the fact that we have gotten away from reading celestial language. And that has been to our detriment because we live by the narratives of our open and natural enemies in terms of spiritual and psychological thought. So when you look at the situation that exists today, when we look at the fact that it took 30 years for Medgar Evers Williams, a brilliant sister who I love dearly. I love to hear her talk. And then you look at, it's been 60 years since the death or the unaliving of our brother Medgar Evers, who loved our people and made the ultimate sacrifice for our people. And see, when we disconnect our genetic memory bank, this is what throws us into a tailspin. Okay, and we have to now examine, our history and look at it, and then that'll help us be able to plot our future course, which has really already been plotted for us. We just have to walk into it. And so I looked at the numbers 3 and the number 6 within the 30-year span and the 60-year span. And now we're talking about celestial language. We're talking about something that involves divine power, wisdom, and knowledge. So, and then you add 3 and 6 together, that's 9. So now you have the 3 numbers that are the root numbers of all things in the universe and on the planet. And I said, I have to look at this. And then finally, the Siggy, 60-year Siggy, that the Dogon, actually our spiritual leaders actually show us, is when Sirius B comes between these 2 big mountain peaks. It's a majestic, if you've never seen it, I should have sent the visual. It is a majestic sight, but imagine what our people get, the spiritual adrenaline they get when they see Sirius B every 60 years rising up between those 2 mountain peaks. And they live their whole lives. Many of them don't even make it to 60 years. I don't know, it may be a little different now. So with that said, I wanted to start this off. Brother, if you want to put up your banner, we can go through it. I wanted to start this off by just reminding our people the great sacrifices that have been made. That's why when I hear other people from other cultures that come to this country, it is like a slap in the face, I'll be honest with you, to Black Americans, because our people have sacrificed so much here. But this was my first hero. And I'll never forget. That's why I always give kudos to my older brothers, man, who lived during this time and sacrificed so much themselves. And when they would bring their books home, from Tuskegee back home to Savannah, I'd be gobbling it up. And like all things, I was just so mesmerized by a man who in the face. So let's paint this picture, Brother Lance. But before we do that, do you have any comments on the banner, what you were thinking?
Well, I wanted everybody to feel up close and personal. It's a very simple banner. It's nothing super fancy.
Sometimes those are the best.
yes, lots of times when we think of those who are our leaders and those who have led and gave their lives for us, we push them back to another world. It's like, oh, that's way, way, way back then. In the photos that they usually use or videos, it doesn't show you that they're a real human being. You see that they're a human being, no doubt, but this is a brother that did so much, yet you could see him talking to you in the supermarket parking lot for a second, asking how you're doing. I wanted to make it more humanized. And this is a photo that many people have seen, but what I stressed in this banner was to make it large. Let you see his eyes, let you see his face close, human, to connect with that. So as you explain and highlight his life, people can connect with that. And when they see that as a thumbnail, it's not just the usual him speaking or, in the distance or crowd. It's one-on-one.
Yes.
So when you see his face, you feel his energy.
Absolutely. Like a one-on-one game of basketball or boxing. And, by the way, I just want to give kudos to our brother Terrence Bud Crawford.
Yes.
One of the greatest of all time.
He did something, but for those who are not into boxing, history was made because he's the only undisputed champion in 3 different weight divisions. And this is the 4-belt era. Back in the day when Muhammad Ali was fighting, you had the WBC, the WBA. Well, right now you have the WBA, the WBC, the IBF, the WBO, and the Ring Magazine rankings and belt, which makes it 5. But he went from 135 pounds at lightweight, went to welterweight, beating Errol Spence 2 years ago, and then jumped 2 divisions past 154, past the 160th weight class to 168 to beat Canelo Alvarez, who has been a champion almost like the last 7 years. Constantly in that division. He fought Mayweather many years ago and lost, but he went on a streak. There's a couple of decisions he didn't deserve, but he was acknowledged as the face of boxing. And Terrence Crawford, coming up from a lighter weight division, he's a superior boxer, but they felt that his weight, coming up in weight, it wouldn't be able to deal with the thickness and size and strength of Canelo Alvarez. But in actuality, they ended up being the same size, and he outboxed them and made it look easy. So this is history, to jump up from a little division like that to come to 168 pounds and actually be 168 pounds and do that excellently and be undisputed. This was, this is a very awesome thing. I sat up and watched it and slept late. It was picture perfect fight. It
really was. Yes.
Yeah. But go ahead, brother. Just had to say that.
No, good. Yeah, he deserves the accolades he gets. And I want to go back and I want to paint the picture of what was happening during. Okay, brother. You can move the banner. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm glad that you made it personal and put it up front and close, because our people need to feel the energy of what our people went through during this particular era, which is funny because 60 years has some major significance in terms of time. So we know that energy never dies. You either forget it, don't know that it's there, and are unaware of it, but it's always there. And if you remember, I told this story a few years ago about the experience I had when I was living in Washington, D.C., and a friend of mine invited me to this event. This lady was a clairvoyant. I saw this with my own eyes. I felt that we were in this big room, and she created a scene in history where there were horses, men looking like they're going to battle. You could see their expressions just kind of faintly, because it wasn't a solid picture. It was almost like something streaming, like a hologram almost.
Right.
But you knew that these people were there. And boy, that had changed my life, along with some other experiences. Mm-hmm. But the point I want to make is that this energy vortex from 60 years ago in Medgar Evers, which also, he was inspired by the death of Emmett Till in 1955. Mm-hmm. So this was a turbulent period for our people. But here you had a man that served the United States in the United States military. He's buried in Arlington Cemetery. And, you know, they always want to use this as a benchmark for how much you love America, right? Mm-hmm. But our brothers who go to Sirius B. Yes. All right, my brother, you own one. That's it. Hey, yeah. That is our star. Okay. Black people need to be connected and tuned into this right now, because this is where we're getting our downloads from. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he served the country. And then when he came back, the first thing that, and I was listening to Medgar Evers talk about this when they interviewed her, but now you have to remember, we did not have, this was before the right to vote. Okay, so everybody that comes to this country and has the right to vote need to be thankful for this brother. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about some of the challenges he faced, but when he came back to this country and realized that Black people were still fundamentally in the same condition, and the fact that he served in the United States military didn't change that.
Right.
He was an articulate brother, had a lot of courage. He understood the situation, what was going on at that time, the socio-political situation, which is very similar to today. Because now we're entering into a period where the physicality that our people suffered from then is now back in place. Before it was just the rhetoric, right? But now they have added this same Ku Klux Klan element where the Klan would threaten people, kick in their doors, throw Molotov cocktails in their homes, shoot up their homes.
Real tough guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're real tough when it's a whole group of them till you get one-on-one. So, and then under all this threat of death, he constantly got calls, just like Martin Luther King, Malcolm, I guess the minister does too. Mm-hmm. All of our men who stand up for us, they are constantly under the threat of these cowards. So what happened was, so when he got back, he became the first field secretary of the NAACP. We're not going to get into the history of the NAACP because, you know, our people like to go off into these narratives. It was a vehicle for him to do what he needed to do. So when he became the field secretary of the NAACP, he wasn't playing. Okay, he wasn't playing at all. He organized the first boycott that Black people had against racist corporate policies. They boycotted companies. Okay, he organized. He was a very good organizer. I guess he learned that in the military. And like I said, he was a man that had tremendous courage. He was someone that really inspired me when I was a young boy. And I remember this scene. And by the way, a good movie to watch about his life is Ghosts of Mississippi.
Ghosts of Mississippi.
Yeah, that's a great movie. And I remember when they first, when after he got assassinated, and they first started talking about well, what are Black folks going to do now?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what the Klan were saying. Which one of you Negroes is going to replace him? And that same spirit lives today. This is why our people have got to get over these petty jealousies. We have got to get beyond this, because now we're facing a situation where even back then, and don't think that you had a successful boycott of one of their major corporations and they're angry, okay? But think of how Medgar Evers, who didn't have the legal protections that we have today, well, they're being eroded. But he, you know, someone could just come up to you, say, hey, boy, we taking you to jail, or we taking you over here, and there's nothing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So Medgar Evers knew what happened. He did something very, very brilliant. He became an insurance person, and so salesperson. So this allowed him to go to the different plantations where our people were still working on. Let's call it for what it is. This is still the Jim Crow era. And he would talk. He would pretend like he was going to talk to the owners about purchasing insurance. Or some of the people that were working there, the Black people that were working there, to give them coverage, right?
Right.
But when he got there, he evaluated them one-on-one to find out if they would be able to pass the voting exams, which were ridiculous. Okay, so and it's really a slap in the face to our people today. Shout out to John Lewis, who fought his whole career for the Voting Rights Act. But he knew that he had to find out, how am I going to get my people prepared, okay, so that they'll be able to vote.
Right.
And so we know they played a lot of different games or what have you, but Black people at that time were willing to stand with him. That's the difference today. You didn't have that many coons that helped, but Black people were willing to stand solidly behind him. And because they were willing to do this, this stoked a level of fear in the Klan, who are the modern day white national Christians, nationalist Christians, or neo-Nazis, whatever you want to call them. So it's the same spirit. And the night before Medgar Evers was assassinated, the same night he was assassinated, President John Kennedy went before the public and made a speech that actually changed the social dynamics in America. To have the President of the United States and a white man to get on TV and defend our people, that had never happened before.
Right.
So this was a turning point as well. And so they were all excited, because you imagine they're in the trenches fighting against this evil and, doing all these things to our people and threatening, living under terror, the threat of terror every day.
Real death.
Real
I mean,
death,
terror,
brother.
but you don't know when death is going to hit you.
Okay.
And we didn't have smartphones back then.
No, we didn't.
The news wasn't going to report certain things.
No.
And they're going to keep it buried and hush hush. And it can happen. It was real. You see?
It was real. And on that point, for something to be a vicious socio-political assassination like that to happen, and for it to go unpunished for 30 years, tells you. But now this is why I love our Black women so much, who were made in this image that we're talking about, Medgar Evers. And this is why they always degrade our women, because back then, our women were the truth, okay? They still are, a lot of them. You don't hear about the ones that are, but they try to say, oh, they have a low IQ. Brother, let me tell you something. If you pass a bar examination in this country, you got to have some kind of IQ. And the reason why is because they make you learn every single law that applies to jurisprudence. And so for an individual to do that, it takes a tremendous amount of discipline, okay,
yes,
and ability, cognitive ability. So this nonsense where you have to make somebody feel inferior for you to feel superior, that lets me know right then that you're inferior. And the other thing too is that when you talk about intelligence, we're talking about people with a calcified pineal gland that do not have the ability to decipher real intelligence. And this is what happened when they encountered the Medgar Evers. They got frustrated. So they called, and then, you know, they started calling it hieroglyphics. You know, they always change the names. Mm-hmm. But in that, they separated the spiritual aspect that we are connected to away from the actual words. Because when you look at something from a 90-degree angle, you're just looking at what the benefit of it is. You're not looking at anything else. If it means I have to destroy someone else in order to do that, that's what I'm going to do. When you look at people with the open pineal gland, like we have, even though you don't walk in this, you're still responsible. And that's why I keep trying to tell Black people, you're not going to escape this judgment, okay? Because you still want to follow behind the people who are anti-Black, bigoted, and against the creator-creatrix spirit of truth. Not only that, they're telling you this in your face. So what happens is when you encounter something, instead of you using or looking at nature and your natural, so the Medgar Evers was called by our people the sounds of the spirit. But when the invaders came in, they changed it to the language of God or something like that. Mm-hmm. And that is because, believe it or not, sounds or being able to hear certain sounds, that's the highest form of intelligence. Our people didn't even have to talk. They'll beat a goddamn drum and they know what that sound means.
Yep.
So that's the way, you know, that's why we have this sort of seventh sense, okay, where it's beyond the sixth sense, because it's already been proven that melanin survive the ability to use your spiritual and psychological energy lives outside the normal synapses of the brain, which is geared towards their 90-degree interpretation of things. So the reason why I'm saying all of this is our real creator is trying to tell our people something, okay? But you're not listening. Again, you're getting emotionally caught up in a recent social-political event also, okay, is a message. Okay, you can, you know, you can spend your time arguing about, so I'm like this. When a person tells me something and they speak it and they live it and they walk into it, I take them at face value. I'm not trying to I am not trying to make you something that you have shown that you're not. Just to satisfy this anti-Black God rubbish or rhetoric that you're using and the sorcery you have over our people. Now, I had to say all of that so our people will realize when you look at a man like Medgar Evers, first of all, he stood for what a real man should stand for. He loved his people, made the ultimate sacrifice. He labored for his people. He believed in a higher power. He didn't treat people with hate.
Checked all the boxes.
What'd you say, Lance?
He checked all of the righteous boxes.
Check all the righteous boxes. And I'm glad you used that word righteousness, because our people don't know the difference between righteousness and unrighteousness. They still want to stamp unrighteousness as righteousness. No, you cannot. Okay. And they get mad at me all they want. Okay, because at the end of the day, our people didn't do this. Our people didn't cause this type of hate that's out here. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're going to celebrate our great brothers and sisters who have paved the way and shown us and have lived by the Mayotan laws of truth, justice, okay, righteousness, and balance. They said that Medgar Evers never directly condemned even the people that threatened his life. All he did was show them that there was a greater power in him than what they had. And see, this is one of the greatest messages that a man like Medgar Evers have left our people, who our people have forgotten. Okay, let's just keep it real. Our children don't even know who Medgar Evers is. They know who Tupac is. I mean, and you know, I love a young brother like Tupac. I'm not trying to, because I know the first thing our people are going to do is what these vampires have taught them. Every time you mention something about one of our people, then automatically you want to put this division, divisiveness versus, no. Yep. Medgar Evers was a true man, stood on business. And I can go on the record as saying that if Medgar Evers had never lived, Black people would have it probably would have been another 30 years before we got out of those situations on those plantations. True. And that's a conservative, you know. But at the same time now, this same spirit has come back today. Okay. And like you were saying with these spirits and these entities, and what they do is they don't look at time like you do. Okay. They look at, so how are we going to keep them from reconnecting with the real creator? That's who your real enemy is.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. They don't mind how long they have to wait in the trenches.
No.
Out of sight while we get distracted and forget that they're there. We can't let their presence in our lives dominate us and have us, no, you got to go on living life and building, but be aware that they're there and be ready to initiate what you need to initiate. That's right. Effortlessly when you stay connected. I'm not just talking in the physical, but it's an automatic thing that happens because you walk a certain way.
Yes.
And if you don't walk this certain way and stay connected, you're not protected. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
You got to be aware that they're there. They'll wait 30 years. They'll wait 100 years. They don't care. Years. We can't measure it in man's time.
Oh, yeah. And that is because the entities that they worship keep their genetic memory. Well, they don't really have a genetic memory back. They just know what their history has been. Okay.
Right.
So what happens to our people is, again, we get caught up into their uploads rather than, you know, like a brother like you getting the downloads and then giving it to our people. So our people have been taught that there has to be a mediator between this process. So this is what stops a lot of our progress, because if you don't agree with them about this mediator, then you can't talk. You can't build anything, which is the craziest thing in the world. And these entities, the intelligence that they're talking about is not the same one that you have. They're making that claim clear. That's why they say you have a low IQ, simply because that is something separate from what your real power is, which is greater than an IQ.
Right. Okay. Look, I mean, it's almost like they're trying to make you, as Mike Tyson, play golf with Tiger Woods. He's a champion in the boxing ring, but he probably sucks compared to Tiger Woods.
There you
go. They're trying to take you out of your game. They're trying to take you out of the lane and that connection that you're supposed to have to go through them, and they alter it or take your mind somewhere else, and now you're truly weak. Stay in your lane, which is vast. It's vast. Their lane is narrow. That's why they want to make you come and play in their yard. Like that little kid who's on punishment, looking outside, all the kids playing and having a good time on a Saturday afternoon, and he can't go nowhere. So he's trying to do something to mess everything up.
They're on a 1-lane highway.
Yep.
Whereas you can have 8 lanes or 9 lanes, but you continue. The other thing too that I noticed during that time, when our people went to these churches, they went there to organize. They didn't go there to do this. Now they may have a service, a worship service, and sing or whatever, but Medgar Evers and those, they was in them basements, they was organizing, and all of the churches in Jackson, Mississippi, the black churches, they came together and organized. Now you can't get a church that's 5 feet from the other black church to even talk to each other or have some kind of or come together and sit down and talk. That is the major difference today, brother. That is the one, because what they have taught our people today, you get yours and then you're better than them, the other Negroes. And so now you can put in the Louis Vuitton in their face and say, aha, I have Louis Vuitton while you're wearing clothes from Goodwill. I buy most of my stuff from Goodwill, bro. Like these pants and all this stuff, man, please. I ain't spending no. I might now accept my shoes and my shirts. But stuff like these jeans, I might catch a couple of things around.
I'm the same way, man.
I'm not giving these folks my money.
And to be branded. Well, it's funny how they call it a brand. Just the same way when we were branded as slaves. It had somebody else's name on us. And now we go for the name brand. We want to be on the best plantation. That's what we're saying. Oh, I'm wearing this Giorgio this or this Gucci this. So you on that plantation. And now you're working to pay to up somebody else's name. You big it up. And you brag about, well, I'm on a better plantation than you. Well, my master got 100,000 slaves. Well, sure, I only got 85, but we're going to catch you. Look at what I'm wearing.
Right. Look at what I'm wearing.
Brand.
You know what's so crazy about that, bro? Is that we'll wear, and like I know you're from Queens where FUBU originated. So and I remember the guy that started FUBU, he said, well, my parents told me I could just stitch my name on it or stitch some kind of name on it. And then that's what he started doing. But we have got to have the name of certain Europeans on these clothes. Now, let me tell you how that has really hurt our people. All of our children kill each other over this. Imagine that. They literally unalive each other over tennis shoes, over jackets, over the stuff they wear around their neck. There's wrong with having gold. I own gold, okay? But it's a proper place for it. It's secured, okay? But they have taught you the bling bling, and I'm glad China came out and said, listen, fools, this stuff is not even real that you unaliving each other over. So you got these vampires that have played you like a sucker and make you feel like you're better than black folks. So that's the thing I noticed during that time period. Our people didn't have these same petty jealousies because they were in a fight for their lives. They're in a fight for their social economic existence. And necessity is a great motivator, right? When you have to have something, or you're gonna be motivated. You're gonna be motivated, or you're either gonna be left behind. And so one of the greatest messages that Medgar Evers left our people is that when you are dealing with your open enemy, then you must come with something just as strong saying, we oppose you. and we're going to boycott your businesses.
That's right.
And they didn't like when Medgar Evers said none of them black folks better. He didn't say it like that. I would have said
right.
That. But he said, we don't want to see any of our people in Jackson shopping anywhere. Well, they set up, you know how you have a yard sale or whatever? That's what our people did. They set up little yard sales and they bought from each other. They bought, like the Asian people do. They set up and they do. And so I was like, wow. Because I have always been impressed with our people's ability to organize in the face of sheer terror. Okay. They went to these people once they found out, because these entities, they're vicious, man. They don't care nothing about it. You can clap all day long with them if you want. I'm sick of that, man. And then they got the nerve. So one of my alma maters, Clark Atlanta, I'm not going to say what I want to say on Lance's show.
Say it, bro.
Our young people, okay?
It's all right. Say it.
These vampires that have created this situation, keep your asses away from our young people and from our institutions. Take your satanic energy somewhere else. It's enough of you to spread it around, as we see. Okay? Leave our damn children alone.
Yeah.
And do not go to our institutions, because black folks had nothing to do with this ignorance. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. So I'm going to calm myself down.
1000% truth.
Brother, let me tell you, man, that's like the wolf asking a sheep to be happy for them. Are you insane?
Right.
Well,
that's sick.
If somebody is attacking me and my people constantly saying all these degraded things about us, I'm sorry. Okay? No, I'm not sorry. I'm not apologizing, okay, for anything or any attitude I have towards hate. That's what you can call it. Christianity, because Christianity ain't nothing but hate. They tricked our people.
Yep.
That's all it is. And you can look at the history, the documents of history and see that.
Twist it all up. Twisted us around.
Oh, brother. It's like, turn the other cheek. Oh, yeah. You want to hit it hard again? Oh, let me turn it this way. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how you roll, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I had a young white lady I worked with. She really liked me. And I remember one day, we, not like me in the sense of us getting together, but she just liked me as a person, right?
Right.
She said one day we were sitting down having lunch. She said, I've been waiting a long time to have lunch with you, Neil. She said, I like the things you talk about. She said, I want to know more about history, real history, not the lies. She said, but black people have no idea what white people say about them when they're not around. She said, you guys have no freaking idea what they say about us. And I was like, really? What do they say? She said, you really don't want to know. She told me something I can't say on here. But the thing I want to say to our people is this, is that this message, celestial language that's being sent to us now, we have better take heed. You know, we have spent most of our time in this country doing crisis management. We will pay a heavy price if we do this time. Put aside your petty jealousies, because somebody is not on TikTok or YouTube praising you or saying some crap that you agree with these people that hate our people and have done all these evil things to our people over the centuries. I don't care if you don't like me, okay? I don't. As a matter of fact, I wish you don't like me. Because this is getting to be real stupid.
Yeah.
And then now, the other thing is you got people planning and bringing up other generations. Our children are going to be slaves to them. Why? Because you have not done anything. And when I say you, I'm including myself. Okay?
Right.
But we can take a page out of this book of history, go back. I implore our people to go back, look at the Ghost of Mississippi, and then look at the documentary that C-SPAN did, and then look at the one where Merle Evers, this is the other thing, was interviewed by Gayle King, and she had gone back to their home in Jackson, and it was like the 60th year. And boy, that really got me. And I really felt that. She's a brilliant woman. In fact, she was the first female chairman of the NAACP, I believe. But our girls need to know about Merle Evers Williams. Our young boys need to know about Medgar Evers. Yes. We need some direction now you are still leaving the direction of our younger generations up to the people that have already shown you that they're going to bury you. We cannot keep blaming other people, man. We just can't keep doing that. We're damaging ourselves to the point where we may not be able to recover. Okay. And that's a reality. That's a reality.
Possibility.
That's a great possibility, brother. From what I see, the type of emotionalism that our people are still caught up into. Yes. Great movie, right, Lance?
Yes, just to get a visual, I had to, and they have other posters, but they all look kind of similar to that. So I just put that up there so somebody watching the show later on and say, hey, let me look this up.
Now, I want to, this guy is one of the Baldwin brothers. Like we were talking, these entities, they don't forget. They set him up on a movie shoot with live rounds.
Yeah.
And I said, when I saw that, I said, they was mad because he played that part of Bobby DeLauder, who was the assistant DA in Jackson that broke this case, that worked with Merle Evers. And, one of the scenes in this movie that was really great is when his then wife, the mother of his two children, his daughter and his son, she looked at, there are a lot of parallels between what's happening today and the 60-year period we're talking about. And she looked at him, she said, Bobby, she said, I've been with you through a lot. She said, but if you are going to take this case and shame all of my family and your family, she said, I can't stand with you. And she walked out, left. And took the children. So the thing is there were sacrifices that I always say this, because I know how we get, when we get on this tangent. There were some white people that that put themselves in harm's way for our people, okay? This is a fact. They fought for the rights of our people, okay? But the percentage is something like 8%, maybe 10%, okay? And one of the things, too, that I remember about this was, again, you're looking at a woman who, one of the scenes, one of the investigators for Bobby DeLauder said, imagine a woman carrying the love of a man for 30 years who's been dead for 30 years, unalive. And
That's
I can't
powerful.
even get a, and I'm alive and I can't get a woman to love me. That was a classic line.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to our sisters.
Yes.
And she is somebody too that our young women need to know about. Because see, we need real role models right now, brother. This is what we're missing. The role models that they have put before our children, these people in this Luciferian factory they call Hollywood, has damaged our children, generations of them.
That's what it is, Luciferian factory.
Oh, no question. And they are bringing out every foul spirit that they can conjure. Mm-hmm. We know from the people in that industry what they do, who they worship.
Oh, yes.
You know that person, Lance, you know people in that industry.
Yes, I have someone very close to me. We speak every single day, and they're in that world, and it's vicious, it's treacherous, it's extremely racist, and it's run by rainbow small hats. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Rainbow flag waving small hats that are very extremely racist.
Wow.
And they're not, if you have an inkling of any revolutionary spirit, or they know you do not adhere to their beliefs, you can do great things there, as they've done, my friend, but they're going to block you out.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
And they will instruct other people in that industry to not deal with you.
Oh, yeah,
even though your talent is over and above.
Right.
Yes, yes.
And you know,
so much I can say, but I'm not going to say just because of their connection to me, which is not public, even though they roll through. Yeah. Oh, I wish I could tell some of these, you know, that I know some things.
Yeah.
You know, and it's changed my mindset, even doing stuff here online, knowing that they'll always be there to come at you. Not that you're going to be defeated and stop, but you're going to be shrewd.
Yeah.
And they do not want somebody who is really about it to be speaking about certain things. They don't. They want you to be where you're compromised, or you know, they have something over your head, or you got to get down and do things that you don't want to do, and that stuff is real.
Oh yeah, it's real.
It goes on a very dark spiritual level too. Yeah.
Look at how they trained our brothers and sisters in this this wickedness, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm still here.
Yeah.
My screen went out. But keep talking. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. I got to put my my camera overheated, so I got to put that on in my fan. So just keep talking. I'm away from the mic, but I can hear you.
Right. Okay, good. So when you look at how every one of our brothers who made it to the top of that industry, they brought down. I don't know of one. So they end up giving them all this fiat, giving them power over the young brothers or sisters that go into that industry. But the first thing they make them do is to bow down to these entities. And it just shows you that if you take, like, all money is not good money, okay? And the source of where you are getting that money from has some type of energy attached to it, okay? And I'll never forget, there was a period of time in my life when I was working with certain people, doing certain things, and it just seemed like every time we made the money, something would happen. And I'm like, okay, something is not right with this. And as soon as I cut that source off, those things stopped happening. I was like, wow, that's really, really strange. So to kind of wind down with Medgar Evers today, I believe with all of my heart that this is a very, very strong, no, I know it is, celestial message to our people. Everything lines up, the 3, 6, and the 9. Okay.
Yes.
You got the SIGI that's getting ready to happen in less than 2 years. So anything that happens less than a 3-year period, it's a part of the energy that you're experiencing now. So we see all of these signs that our people are not going to look at. They're going to go in these facilities, calling this name of someone, that name, I didn't say the personality didn't exist. That name did not exist, but our people chant that name as if there's some kind of power in that.
Yes.
And that also has some type of negative connotation to it because of the law of polarity. So I'm just so proud today, man, just to know that a brother like Medgar Evers loved us so much that he gave his life for us so we'd have the right to vote. And he is the one responsible for that. Yes. And not only that, he organized the first boycotts. He was the first person to challenge the mayor of a city. He was the first Black man to challenge a mayor of the city, saying that this is going on under your leadership. So you can talk about God all you want, but our people are suffering under the hands of hate, under discrimination, under you can call it victim all you want. All you got to do is go back and look at your history, and you know that what I'm saying is true. So let me get this straight. Our people have to repent and foam at the mouth, but you don't have to repent for anything. This is the craziest stuff I've ever heard, you know? And so our people have to be the one to constantly repent, feel remorse for stuff that you won't even acknowledge that you have done. But keep your hands off our children, man. That's all I got to say. And I think I'll wind it down today, Brother Lance. Yeah.
Okay, brother. I just had to adjust this camera. It overheated. Okay. Yeah, no problem. No, as long as my audio was there, I'm good.
Yeah.
I didn't have it set up the way I usually set up, but no. Yeah, man, powerful message today. And I'm glad that even in your younger years, you had a chance to be impressed by him through the books and through the discussions and your own studies. And this is how we have to keep on keeping alive the emotion and passion and memory, which, okay, his walk on the earth was a memory, but his spirit is present and should always be preserved. And this is how we need to talk to each other, direct conversations, the meals around the dinner table that we don't really have anymore, but we got to get more into the home life. We got to get more into sitting up under the tree with our peers and really having these soul-filled connections, because now with this phone, which can be used for good, but we OD on it and have other things inserted into our mind, you know, and it blocks away what we should be doing with each other. It's actually an unrighteous spiritual, mental, and emotional condom that keeps us from connecting to each other.
Wow.
You see? It's a barrier. We're next to each other, sitting on the bus or the train, or even in the same neighborhood, and we don't have discussions about our life and tell the stories of our history, our personal lives. And this is why all the time I tell people, whenever they want to come on the show, they can come on. But when they bring somebody on and they come on, make sure to speak about your particular neighborhood or your county and talk about what happened. Name drop. Bring us there, because there'll be other people who talk about it, your experiences. You don't have to be famous. Let's have that real discussion, sitting around the table, sitting on the front porch, where we thought we were going to talk for 20 minutes, but then 6 hours later, we're still out there. You know what I mean? Where we can relate and we transfer each other's energy to each other, and we're wiser because of it. And we have a better appreciation.
That ain't gonna happen no more. Most of the time.
I know it's sad, you know, but those of us who remember, you know, we can use the technology, even though we're all over the world, we can still have that feeling, connect, and have some long conversations when need be. And really, you know, put that out there, you know, because there's so many Medgar Evers out there. It may not have been as pronounced or did as much in those areas, but we have this spirit. Look at yourself, brother. You're a historic figure in the present with the spirit that you have connecting to what was and what happened. You're keeping it warmed up. You know, when you have a good meal and somebody's coming over late, you don't just leave it on the table to get cold. You understand?
Right.
You warm it up for the person who's coming. You're keeping all these memories warmed up and edible and digestible to those who come who are younger, who weren't there. Yes. That's the importance of it.
Yes.
You know, that's for the oral history. We use books, we use the internet, but let's make it real and bring it with real energy. Yeah. The conversations that I heard as a child that were over my head, but the parts that I grasped and the parts that were explained to me by my parents, I got it. So this is why with all of this momentum, I mean, I can act a fool, tell jokes, do this, do that. But when it really gets down to it, you know, you saw Muhammad Ali laughing, joking, making fun of opponents, but it's time to get in there and whip some behind. He can do it.
Okay.
You see what I mean? Don't let one side make you understand that other side ain't there. And that's sometimes we have to mask ourselves in these personas to get the message by, so we're not detected. You see?
Yes. And then we're always getting the messages from people that don't come from us, that are not a part of our culture. This is who, right. So, and we get angry when they want to erase our history. Well, if a person is inferior to you, but they're acting like they're superior, one of the things you have to look at, you have to look at the rhetoric, is the fact that they're either trying to bury your history or bury you, one of the two. Okay. Yep. So why should I have to bury your history if I have a superior attitude to you? Why? I mean, or I shouldn't say attitude, but a superior, because in my mind, everyone is superior until they do something that makes them less than superior or makes them inferior. So everyone is equal until your actions show something different. And this is why they got us in a state where their rhetoric is the thing we're always so emotional about, rather than just look at their behavior. Hey, look, one of the favorite things that they like to say, you will know them by their fruits. Well, all we see is the grapes of wrath. Okay. So you're telling me that, okay, we're supposed to know them by their fruits. I agree. That's our nature. That's how we identify a fruit on the tree. Oh, that's an apple tree. Yeah, okay. But the thing is where we are right now, there's some type of emotional energy vortex that's trying to catch our people up. It's very strong. I can see these uploads they're putting, having our people. It's time for our people to move on from events. Okay. The events that have taken place that have nothing to do with us, we need to move on from that. Because what's going to come from that is the vampires are going to turn their hate on our people. The Luciferians have the power and the money to do it, but you're still sitting here thinking that there's not going to be any food. Okay. Maybe you're not paying attention. You better start talking to some black folks that you know have gardens or have places. You think McDonald's, and so that's the whole setup is for your children to eat fast foods. Yeah. So believe it, these American corporations are not going down in flames. Okay. They are going to make it where the real food is not coming off the farms anymore. I don't care who has to suffer. They did this to their own people. But they'll sacrifice, what do they call it? Casualties of war. They'll sacrifice their own. Yeah. And this is the final thing I'm going to say about this, because I felt this when this happened. There was this brother. He was a one of a kind. He was the only one in the world that had this ability or skill. But he was also an astronaut. He was not just an astrophysicist, but he was something else too. I can't think of his name, But he was the first black astronaut that was celebrated, that went on this this mission, and the goddamn missile blew up the ship, the spaceship.
Dang.
So they unalived all those people, just like they did Dr. Miles Monroe. Just like they did, what's his name? Brown, who was the Commerce Secretary. So they'll take out a whole bunch of their people just to get to one of us.
They will.
To get to the one, because one of us is equivalent to, and we know this from the Y chromosome. Okay.
That's right.
Then all the people in certain parts of Europe. Okay. This has been proven by your own scientists. So we just have to put things in perspective. We need to bring our history back, be proud of our history, be proud of how our people fought for us to get where we are now. And let's go, man. Let's run with this. So peace and love to you, Brother Lance.
Yes, my brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Bless you always. Thank you so much. I'll figure this camera out. I'm all right. Just a technicality. But thank you for your time, brother. Thank you for the meal.
Always.
We're going to be waiting for next week.
Yeah.
Don't keep us starving, brother. Thanks for the work that you do.
And
I'm glad to be that plate, because it's a delicious meal. Thank you, man.
Have a great day, brother Lance.
Okay, take care.
Peace to the family.
Much love, brother. Yes, indeed. Wow. Another episode. So, yes, I want to come on back a little creation and some things that I observed today as I was out and about. And it's always a good thing to keep your mind open, where you can see some things around you. And wow, life is fascinating. Please don't keep your eyes closed as you move through it. And there's more than the physical eye. There's the emotional, there's the mental, there's the spiritual. You want to keep those things open. Sometimes I go into stealth mode and tell some jokes and cut a fool, and not in the street, but sometimes you don't want people to know what you're aware of all the time. You want to not let them know. You don't know who these people are. These people are shapeshifters most of the time. And so you have to not always come with your best. They say, oh, this person's aware of this. This person's aware of that. Nah, you got to go stealth. These days, you really do, because you don't know. And there's so many layers of going stealth. You don't know really who you're dealing with. But you don't have to fear nothing. Just stay on point, and you'll be all right. But much love to everybody who came on through. I'm happy. I'm glad. And on to the next one. So I'm going to prepare a meal, and we're going to come back with something new. Thank you so much. Lance Scurv X. If you're not on Lance Scurv X, go there, put your email in. Everything will be there that we put up. Yes, indeed. Much love to you all. Take care. On to the next one. Peace.